is number 14 on page 50. A group of 500 people were asked about their shopping habits. 6 out of 10 paid with a credit card. 30% paid cash. How many of the people surveyed paid with some other method? So the question I want to highlight, and then I want to go for those bare bones, and it is some other method. So the first thing I'm going to do is build a table just for my own self. Actually, the first thing I'm going to do is go back into my problem and do a little highlighting. 6 out of 10 paid with a credit card. 30% paid cash. Okay, so I'm going to set up my table with all of the ways that they could pay. And the first one mentioned was credit card. And I'm just going to say credit. Then cash. And other. And when I build one of these tables, I always want to leave a space for total. So credit, 6 out of 10 paid with a credit card. Cash was 30%. And then other is what we're trying to find. We know that 100% would be our total. Okay. So there is a little bit of a problem right here with this credit, because remember, cash is in terms of percentages. So I want to get the credit in terms of percentages. Now, if you know that that's 60%, that's awesome. Just go ahead and write it down. If you don't, you just need to put 6 divided by 10 in your calculator, and you will get 0.6, and you add a 0 to get 60%. So you may have to do a little work there to get that number, but we've got to have that number, because here's why I need it. If I do 60 plus 30, that's 90. But remember, it has to add up to 100. So I'm going to say 100% minus the 60 and the 30. So 100 minus 90 is, of course, 10. So the other is 10%. So let me highlight for you what I've done here. The 6 out of 10 is credit, and that comes up to 60%. The cash was 30%, according to the problem. And then we had to find the other, and that goes with yellow. But unfortunately, the question doesn't say what percent paid with some other method. They actually want to know the number of people. So I am going to go ahead and find that. And I think I'm going to extend my table just a little bit. If I can figure out what I'm doing here. Okay. And we're going to need to add in a column or a space for this other information. Okay. We know that we had a total in our study or survey of 500 people. So 500 is the 100%. And we are looking for the other payment method. So you have your proportion ready to go. You want the other people over total. So that's 10 over 100, 10%, and we're going to extrapolate to 500. So 10 times 500 is 5,000. Divide that by 100, and you will get 50 people. So the answer that we're looking for is right there, 50 people. How many of the people surveyed paid with some other method? It was 10% or 50. And just because I don't like to leave things unfinished, I am going to go ahead and do the other two of these, or at least one more, and then I can just subtract. So I think I'll do the cash one. It doesn't matter. So I'm looking at cash over total, and cash was 30%. And we're looking again at a survey of 500. So we're going to multiply those two, and we get 15,000. Divide 100 is 150. So 150 people paid cash. So the cash and the other are 200, and if I take that off of the 500, that leaves me with 300 people who paid with credit. But again, the question is how many of the people surveyed paid with some other method, and so that would be 50 people. Okay, we have one more problem to do, and I'm going to put that in a different video, so I will see you soon.